still virtual?
Yeah, they are all actually learning through virtual mode because it was April. We lost. Yeah, it was actually last April. We had the last session in our school. So
Wow.
after that, we have been. They have been learning through only virtual mode.
Yeah.
It's all about the voluntary sessions actually. So I am organizing these voluntary sessions just for the sake of my students, and so the main objective of these particular sessions are to improve their communicative skills.
Cool. Wow. This is so great. And you have perfect attendance here.
Yeah, I am expecting around 30 students today and more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are so excited, still entering the classroom. So that's why I'm just admitting them. Yeah.
Okay.
So meantime, I request you to introduce yourself briefly
Okay.
so that my students definitely are going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Okay, ready? Okay. Hello, and thank you so much for meeting today. Thank you for having me. My name is Catherine Stark. I am an author. I write books for students, for teachers, for parents. I own a publishing company, and I'm so excited to talk to you today about reading and writing.
Ah, so we are so lucky today to have you as our guest, maybe as a guest. So you are an author and teacher trainer. I think you are undoubtedly a versatile genius. So we are so lucky. We are so lucky to have you as our guest today. So who is going to ask the first question?
Sir, can I ask?
Yeah, first I would like to start with Samira. Samira, could you please?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Samira Khanam. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobby is reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My life ambition is to become a doctor. I want to ask a question. Can I ask?
Please.
What qualities are needed to become a writer?
Great question. Great introduction about yourself. I will tell you, you clearly already speak so well, you communicate so well, and those are strong traits of a writer. Being able to express yourself, express your ideas. So when somebody's reading a book from you, whether it's a children's book or a book for adults, that the audience knows exactly what you're trying to say. So being able to write about what you know, being able to really motivate yourself. No one else is going to motivate you to get your book done. So you have to be good about your time management and your structure and figure out what you want to write and schedule your day out for that. I actually feel like whatever you do, you're going to do great at it. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. And who is going to ask next question?
Can I ask?
Yes, yes. Yes,
Sir, can I?
yes.
Sir, can I?
Pavitra, go ahead.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Pavitra. I am studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, watching TV. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
You may.
What are the famous in your country?
What are the famous what?
So you mean Pavitra? What are the famous places?
Oh, famous places.
Yeah.
So excellent question, excellent introduction. And I used to teach elementary school, middle school, so around your age for a little while. So I'm excited to talk with you today. You honestly, I love that you asked that because I publish a lot of children's travel books. And so the most popular city to visit in America, where I live, is New York City. So we have a book called Two Mice in New York. Certainly the Statue of Liberty being in New York City is very, very popular. The beaches on the Pacific Ocean are very popular in California. So Hollywood, Blockbuster, Los Angeles, California, very, very big. And then basically all of the, like a historical place of where all of the presidents were born. I live in Virginia, and we have 10 US presidents are from Virginia. So you can actually take a tour all around Virginia to visit George Washington's house, Thomas Jefferson's house. Some of our early founding fathers all live in my home state. But writing about special locations like this that tell a story is another great, great idea. And something that I did with my first book, Amy's Travels. She explores all 7 continents. And in America, she actually talks about living close to Washington, D.C., another very famous city with a lot of landmarks in our country.
Yeah. So Neeraja, it's your turn. Neeraja, go ahead and ask the question.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I am Neeraja. I'm studying 10th grade. My hobbies are watching TV and playing games. My future ambition is to become a nurse. Now I want to ask a question.
Yes, please.
Tell us about the book publication process.
The book publication process varies from person to person. I'm working with somebody right now who has this fabulous idea, but they're not putting it on paper. And the first step to getting published is you have to write your story. So whether you're writing it or typing it, or if you're an artist and you want to illustrate it, the first step is to get your idea and your story out there for somebody to read, a publisher to look at. And truly, once you and your person match, you know, one publisher might say no to your story, and one other publisher might say yes to your story. It's really all about finding the best match. And then once your book and your publisher match, we just go through the process of editing, revising. So, you know, when your teacher says, do you have to write an essay, and then you have to write it again and again, and you're mad maybe sometimes, but really it's helping you understand how to revise and to edit and to make your work better, because when you're going through the publishing process, you're going to be looking and going over this text not once, not twice, not 3 times, at least a dozen times. Then turning it into a real story, a real book, through, you know, adding illustrations, through uploading it on platforms where we can purchase it, until everybody can hold the book in your hand. And sometimes the process can take months, and sometimes it can take years. Again, it just depends on who you want to write for and what you want to write about.
Yeah. Yeah. Lohita, it's your question now.
Okay, sir. Who inspired you to become a writer?
I love that question. And I've dedicated every single book to somebody important in my family. Certainly my family has always been supportive of me, but I have been writing books since I was, you know, 6 and 7 years old. So I would say that my earliest authors that I loved to read, like I loved to read the Berenstain Bears, I loved to read Judy Blume, I loved to read the Babysitter's Club. I think that all of those books got me excited about reading. And then in turn, I wanted to write my own story. And I really like to write about people and things that inspire me. So I wrote Amy's Travels about my college friend, Amy. And I've written some adult books as well about fellow educators or people that inspire me. Great question. And I continue to meet people every day that inspire me, you all included. So good question.
Yeah, that's
Thank
really
you.
incredible journey. In fact, you have just stated that you have started writing at a very early age. So I think it's a great inspiration to my students also.
Great.
Yeah, Shruti, it's your
Sir.
turn.
Yes, sir.
Shruti.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Shruti. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are watching TV, playing games. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Please.
How many books have you published and what genres do they cover?
Excellent question. That question sounds familiar, like one I like to answer. I have published 5 books of my own and 5 books of other authors. And I'm in the process of publishing 2 more books from other authors. My genres cover, they have to be a children's book that's engaging and entertaining, or it has to be a educational material for parents, for teachers like your teacher. And then on the side, I'm actually writing, believe it or not, I'm actually writing some romance novels for some other teachers and some other ladies and gentlemen that want to get excited and read like a Hallmarky, fun, sweet book on the side that they can picture as a movie, hopefully. So yeah, good question. Multiple genres, multiple audiences, and we just keep adding books to our platform.
Yeah. Sai Nagasri. Sai Nagasri, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please ask the question.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Sana Agastri. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. My question is, what is your advice for writers?
Advice for writers. Okay, so number 1, you have to be your own best cheerleader. So, if you say, I want to write a book, someone's going to say, okay, but really, you have to decide that goal yourself. So you have to think about the story you want to tell. You have to plan your schedule around it. So I personally am not a person that writes every day. Like some people will say, you need to write 30 minutes a day or an hour a day. I don't. I only write when I feel like writing or when I am inspired. So you need to write what you like. You need to write about what you know. You need to either decide if you want to do a fictional story where you can be totally creative, which is what I like to do, or if you want to do nonfiction where you have to do solid research to make sure you are giving important information. And really just feel comfortable sharing your story. Just because your book is in a bookstore or on Amazon, unfortunately, it doesn't mean that people are going to choose your book. So you have to be able to talk about your book and market your book and share your book and get other people excited about your book so that they want to buy your book. So if you're going to be a writer, you also have to be an author, a marketer, a social media person, a boss, a leader, so many different hats that you wear.
Yeah. So Nagalakshmi, are you there?
Sir, can I ask one question, sir?
Yes, Loshna, I definitely give you the chance. First of all, let us give the chance for Nagalakshmi. Nagalakshmi, are you available?
Okay, sir.
Nagalakshmi, are you available? So it seems that Nagalakshmi is not available at the moment. So Losh, yes, Nagalakshmi, go ahead and ask the question because every minute is important here.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
ma'am. My name is Mahalakshmi. I'm studying. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become an English teacher. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yes.
How writing process in your own work?
So Nagalakshmi, I think your question is not clear. I think could you please ask again clearly?
How the writing process in your own?
I think it's about the writing process.
Yeah.
So the writing process for me is actually very similar to the writing process in school. So you're always going to brainstorm first. So whether you want to make a list or draw a picture or, type it out, you always are going to brainstorm first. Then you're just going to write. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about anything. Just get your ideas out. That's what's the most important thing. Because if you don't have a good idea, no one wants to read your piece. If you don't have anything to share, no one wants to read your piece. If you don't have any information to give, no one wants to read your piece. So you're going to brainstorm, then write. After you write, then you're going to go back and make it better. So revising it, editing it, everything. And this just does not happen once. Like I said earlier, this can happen tons of times, like 10 times over a course of a month. Sometimes I don't want to look at my story and I want to put it away, pull it back out like 5 days later, and I'll make great more changes to it. So there's always that order. It's always the same order. It just depends